Okay, another question. If you went to your email tomorrow and you saw 1,000 emails there, what would you do with it?
That sounds overwhelming. I would tell someone to just delete and start from scratch. It's literally something I do every year. So there's a point where there's spam and there's this and there's that. But at the end of the day, and I learned this from one of my mentors. It was on the Internet Marketers Cruise, and it blew my mind. I was like, what? And I had email anxiety. And what I started doing, and this was like 10 years ago. And then every December, I just go from scratch. We call it inbox zero, delete it all, start from scratch. And quite frankly, my friend Julie, she's from Book Launchers. She laughs at me because I have so many emails, because sometimes I just start from scratch. And I'm like, okay, here's my new email, right? But what my mentor said is, you have all this anxiety of getting back to everyone on email. He goes, but if it's really important, they're going to follow up with you. If they had a question that wasn't answered, they're going to go, hey, by the way, blah, 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 blah. And if it was important, you've probably scheduled it already. Otherwise, it's not important. So it's getting people out of the overwhelm of, I've got to finish all these things. You know what? Sometimes you just delete, start from scratch, and trust that you will not miss anything. So I know that's a radical thing to do, but that's what I would do.
It's awesome. It's not the first time I've heard it. It's the first time I actually said, I think I could do it. You explained it very, very well. I'm like, I think they will follow up with you if it's important.
Yeah.
I was always thinking I'm letting somebody down, but that's working on their agenda, right? I should be working on their agenda.
Yes. Well, and again, this is where you and I are similar. We are always thinking about someone else. It's like the oxygen mask. We've heard this analogy in a plane. It's taking the oxygen for yourself before you can save everyone else. Because if you run out of oxygen, you can't help a soul. So, by the way, I'm living over, the studio now is over La Jolla Cove, and there's a really dangerous riff right in this little corner. And almost every weekend when the tourists come on Sundays, there's someone who's swimming out there where they don't belong. They finally put a lifeguard out there. But we've seen rescues where someone goes out there and the guy is just he won't take the help. And I was a lifeguard. That was one of my first jobs as a teenager. And we learned that if someone starts clamoring on you and taking your energy and your oxygen, basically, you take them and you go, whoosh, you basically drown them. You go whoosh, so that they get disoriented and they've got water all over the face. And they're like, again, they can't attack you because they can't see you. And they also then trust you're in charge. So sometimes you just got to go, I'm in charge, and here's where we're going, and not letting other people derail you, drown you, right? Or take your oxygen. So hopefully that helps. That it seems.
I didn't realize this was a class. This is dynamite stuff. You're just passing out these. I'm trying to write, and I'm like, no, pay attention, don't write. You can go back and listen to it later because it's recorded.
Yeah, you're going to turn it into a book. You'll have transcripts.
Turn it into everything. You can help so many people with this. I am loving this. I am just, wow.